Hello, everybody. This is Dissonant Waves. We got a full house today. Welcome back. Riddlin and
I am
Tricks are both
back
here. Yes,
for the
Yeah.
last episode of the year. I'm
maybe.
Well,
just
not
in time to
maybe.
say that I've been here the whole time.
We might do an episode after this.
Yeah, we might. Another
Well,
emergency minisode.
for next week, I'm out again because I'm going to be hosting my top 100 for the first time. That's going to
Yeah.
be fun.
That's gonna be super fun.
Yeah.
It's
And then by the time that ends, Triple J's doing the top 10 albums poll as well. And I have certain rules in my life. If Triple J is doing a countdown, unless I've specifically invited you over, fuck off.
I mean, fair. This matters to you, so you have to do it your way.
It's one of the only rules I have in my life. It's good to be back.
Yes, welcome. We are doing our rankings of albums we've listened to this year and for the podcast and everything else. Whatever you want to do, basically. But
Well, as I was talking as well with Trix just before we started recording, is that my short list that I had for just songs that I liked or
Yeah.
listened to or meaning to get around to this year was 1,273 songs. That's the largest I've ever had it at.
yeah.
And I've had to cut that down. I originally cut that down to around 240 songs. So I said, okay, here's all the songs that I reckon are the true best of the year. I'm gonna go through it again just to make sure I haven't missed anything. And I spent the whole of today ranking those. No full spoilers about what wins recorded on this podcast yet. You'll have to probably check the list that would be out by now. So it's not a finalized list, so it's harder to give spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but after I did that ranking, I went to the bottom of the list. I said, okay, does this realistically have a chance of making the top 200? And if it doesn't, I cut it. And this has now been cut down to 219 songs.
All right.
Number 200, I currently have, and it's going to stay at that because I wanted the 200 spot to kind of be like the whole, hey, yeah, there might be songs that are better than here, but I think this really needs a shout out.
Mhm.
And I put that as microphones in 2020.
Yeah. 40-minute song is just one song to listen to.
It's true. Yeah, these are not final finalists. I mean, I don't have the same rules you do, so I'm still waiting on an album to come out before I finalize everything.
Yeah, mine's
Well,
kind of just like a nebulous top 10.
I base mine off the Triple J rules, which is December of the last year to the end of November this year.
Right, and that's totally fine. I just don't care to abide by that.
Fair enough. I do at least have a finalized album of the year ranking, and my EPs of the year is also getting close. However, not exactly finalized.
But we're pretty much there. Like, it's not like it's gonna change dramatically. I don't think.
No.
I reckon my song of the year rankings will, but my end of the EP of the years probably won't. No.
Right. So you could take this as like a pretty rough, good look at what we're doing, like what our favorites are and what we're thinking here.
Yeah.
I reckon before we get into all those lists or just our total of 2020, we should probably talk about the stuff that we haven't talked about yet. It means that either we've been meaning to, or we just kind of haven't, or we only just learned about it while we were away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait.
I just want to also start off with just saying that I listened to the Network EP
Yeah.
that you sent over. Apparently, Trick says it's shit compared to the album.
It's fine. It's the worst songs on the album.
Yeah.
And I was kind of just like, I'm trying to think the word. I was kind of neutral to the EP. I didn't hate it. Like, it didn't shit me to tears like Fiber of All Motherfuckers did. Ivanka is a Nazi was cheesy enough to be fun.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I mean, obviously, there was a huge political message on there as well, which was much better than the No Sweetest Producers, which was their previous political message.
Yeah. I will say I absolutely loved on the full album. I absolutely loved the title of the song, Jerry Falwell's Pool Party.
Yes. Money Money 2020 is on my list.
Same here.
Like, it just came out 2 days ago as of this recording, but it will count.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the first album I want to mention that we never got to get to, and it came out, I think, just after I announced, hey, I kind of need to take a break. I'm moving out and stuff, and I was wanting it to be done. I don't think you lads did a 2020 albums after I went on break, did you?
Not intentionally.
No.
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 So
the closest thing we did was we talked about Trans Am.
Yeah. And that was Ballpark Music's self-titled album, which Ballpark Music's an act that I've been planning to bring out at some point. I'll probably bring out this album at some point as well, because it's fantastic. It's one of the best in their discography. And this is their 6, which is weird for that to be their first self-titled at 6. Then again, Weezer's up to like 6 self-titles themselves, so who even cares?
Fleetwood Mac at like 2 or 3.
I mean, at Weezer, it's just kind of a meme at this point.
And one of the reasons I had against doing this album, like if I could, was that as someone that I said on another Discord, this album kind of feels like a wrap up of their whole discography to this point, which if you haven't heard their previous 5 albums, might be kind of lost in you. Like, there's a song in there called Bad Taste Blues Part 3. Part 1 and 2 were on Museum.
So you're saying we need to do another Phil Elverum saga for them?
Yeah, possibly. However, I am more in depth into Ballpark Music's discography than I am to Phil Elverum, so might be even longer.
Fuck.
Although they have announced that some of their influences do count into that kind of lo-fi folk era. Like, there's a live recording of them covering In the Airplane Over the Sea.
I appreciate.
The last track off Good Mood, their 5th album, literally sounds like In the Airplane Over the Sea.
Soft and sweet.
Yeah.
Strange to be what is anything at all.
Oh, the song was called I Am So In Love With You, so you can probably expect how that sounds.
Strange it is.
Yeah.
EDD.
Yeah, not that far.
That just sounds garbage.
Was it?
But garbage. Did you just say garbage?
Yeah, I'm just not a really big fan of like acoustic folk love songs.
We need to cover garbage at
Look,
some
you're not
point.
wrong.
Thinking about that.
No thanks. I threw my teenage angst out a while ago.
Garbage did a Bond theme, so somewhat important.
On the topic of teenage angst, one of the albums that I found out about after we stopped is an album called Self Surgery by Mrs. Piss.
All right.
And it's just like a really good kind of like hardcore metal album that I just found and like really enjoyed.
One album I kept meaning to get to was the Health album, Disco 4 Part 1. That I know Ritalin
That album
showed me.
So yeah, I heard that album in full, and it's actually probably the most I've enjoyed a Health album.
I mean,
just because the amount of collaborations they did on it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
the fucking 100 Gex collaboration.
That's so wild.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
I love the shit out of it.
And the Soccer Mommy song's really good too.
I mean, well, the first single off it was a collaboration with Shushu.
Yeah.
Which, if you ever heard "Girl with a Basket of Fruit," you just know how wild they can fucking get.
Yeah, I mean, if I ever go back, I mean, I probably will go back to Health next year, but we'll probably do a different album. But Disco 4 Part 1, the Disco series has been a weird thing with them, and this is probably the best one by far. So I'm happy they went this route with it. But we'll see if we ever cover. We'll see.
On that note, the 100 Gex remix album is the most I've enjoyed Fall Out Boy in a long time. Even if they're only on it for... I mean, their vocals on it go for like 20 seconds.
I mean, they had one song in that Health album. So it's about the same.
Hmm.
Oh, you mean Fall Out Boy remix?
Yeah, the fucking hand crushed by a mallet featuring Fallout Boy is so fucking good.
Okay. Okay.
It's actually one of the most I've ended up enjoying a remix album because a lot of them can get very boring and some of the remixes can be very self-indulgent. It's not to say that every remix on here hits, but there was definitely some very enjoyable moments. The massive collaborations that they got for the ringtone remix is fantastic. Dorian Electro did a great one with Gektir as well. I definitely still think the hand crossed by a mallet is the peak of that by far, but there was some really interesting change ups. It had some very well known producers in the PC music scene as well, most notably A.G. Cook. Yeah, that's one of the most fun I've ever had listening to a remix album, so thank you, 100 Gex, for questioning my sanity once again.
I mean, that's what the Disco series was just Health doing. They're just releasing remix albums of their own albums. So it's nice to see them not do that.
Tricks, anything else that you can think of?
Stevie Dinner's last album. I got a couple. Stevie Dinner's last album came out like the week after you're like, oh yeah, we can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I'm like, ah, fuck, I want to do that. But I've been a big fan of Stevie Dinner since I found him. He's just like this like lo-fi kind of.
That was the greatest fizz I've ever heard. It went through many layers of our dimensions.
Rip it and rip it.
My apologies.
But yeah, Stevie Dinner, good album. I really enjoyed it. It's gonna be in my top 10. It's just a really good like lo-fi, disco-y. It's got good synth. There's some folk songs on it that work surprisingly well. It's a fun romp.
I want to give my next one up actually to Matt Berry, who is more well known for playing Douglas Renham in the IT Crowd. Turns out he's been putting out albums for a long time. What's his earliest one on Spotify? I thought so. It was around 2011 was his debut, and he's put out his seems to be his 7th studio album here in like 10 years. He's been quite prolific. Plus, he has a live album as well, which is even better. And I'm surprised of how much I liked it. Like a lot of actors who do music in their spare time end up being quite boring as well. Like obviously, there's been some exceptions. I didn't hate Michael Cera's music. Jason Schwartzman obviously has had a bit of successes as well back when he was in Phantom Planet, and Coconut Records wasn't bad as well. However, there have obviously been a lot that have done it as quite of a wank fest. I also forgot to mention Childish Gambino, but then again, sometimes his music can be a little bit of a wank fest. So,
also, I just want to say fuck Graham Lineham.
Who's that?
He's the writer of the IT Crowd, and he's a massive transphobe.
Oh, I think I heard something about that. I've never seen the IT Crowd, so my apologies.
IT Crowd
you need to watch it. It's a great show.
It's a fantastic show. The writer's a fuckwit.
Yep.
Fair enough.
But there were some generally well-written episodes. Just some of the peak of British sitcoms are in that show.
It's great.
And Matt Berry himself is one of the peaks.
Yeah.
Fair.
Like I was talking about this with a friend, and like his first thought when it came to Matt Berry was the scene where Matt Berry goes, "Ooh, a gun! Is it loaded?" Puts it in his mouth and shoots. Guess not.
Well, listen, who's the other guy on the IT Crowd though? There's like another guy who's like a musician, isn't there?
No,
he's like a director at least.
I am not too sure. I haven't searched up fully onto everyone. Oh, sorry. I think I know who you're talking about. I think you're talking about Richard Ayoade.
Yes.
Ayoade. Yeah, no, he's not a musician. He's directed music videos though.
He must have done Sorry for Flight of the Conchords, I think.
No, you got that confused with who's the guy from Flight of the Conchords that you got confused with? I can't remember their names.
I know his name too. It's
Clementine
Fuck.
song.
Well, I know that Richard Ayoade did the movie Submarine, which I know my friends love. It's back when that came out, so that's kind of that like twee. I think there's like music involved in that somewhere, like good soundtrack or something.
Is it possible you got to confuse Jermaine Clement?
Yeah, that's
Possibly. I
Because
know.
Jermaine Clement's done stuff like with Taika Waititi and shit. So
Yeah, I think that's what he was thinking of. And also he did one of the songs on Rick and Morty.
I mean, I know I was thinking of Richard Ayoade, but I don't know, or Ayoade, but I'm not sure.
it might be Ayadi. I can't remember it.
Ayoade.
Yeah, but going back onto Matt Berry,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
actually search up all this kind of like the musical history of the man, like one of my favorite sketches that I found on YouTube was from his show Stuffbox, and he's doing this song about suicide. Like he's premiering the song about suicide because apparently, the character he's plays, his brother's just committed suicide, and then when he actually plays it, it's just this 2 minute instrumental funk track, and then he's doing all the music himself. There was this other really experimental album he did, which I mean, it didn't hit that well. He did reek of pretentiousness. Was his Music for Insomniacs album, which I still don't know what the fuck that was.
Were you talking about there?
I listened Matt Berry.
Okay.
It was just a bunch of noises. It felt like for 40 minutes, and then the album this year, which I listened to, and I surprisingly enjoyed a lot, was his Phantom Birds project. It was quite simple, kind of folk country, but he has such a lovely voice that actually works so well with it. His lyrics in there were kind of simplistic. I really loved Something in My Eye. I think that was just a fun track. It had that kind of whole. If there's anybody I expect to sing those types of lyrics of the "Cool Your Jets," just something in my eye, it is Matt Berry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think that was a fun album that came out this year. I don't know if I was ever going to talk about it, but it's hard to see actors that you didn't expect to be musicians put out something that's actually this good, and his music doesn't get enough notice. I'm looking at his Spotify streams. Yeah, he has 5 million on one song, and then everything else there is like 100,000 at best. A lot of them are going in like the 10,000s.
Wow. But going on that though, you reminded me of I kept meaning to do more Sufjan Stevens because he did 2 albums in 2020, and
one of them was good.
I mean, I didn't listen to either one really, unfortunately. I listened to part of the Ascension. I need to listen to more of it. I didn't listen to Aporia at all.
I didn't listen to either of them, so.
But Aporia he did with his father or stepfather Lowell Brahms of Carrie and Lowell, and Lowell. The last album that Lowell worked on was an album called Music for Insomnia, which got me confused there for a second. But
fair enough. No, the extension is really good.
Yeah, what I listened to is very different and not at all what I expected.
It might actually be my favorite from him. I don't know if I enjoy it more than Illinois. I mean, Sufjan Stevens' peaks are incredibly high, and I think this one's up at his peak. I know some people weren't so keen on it, like Anthony Fantano gave it a fucking 6.
Anthony Fantano also gave Floating Coffin a fucking 5, I think. No, it doesn't deserve that.
I mean, they are just opinions.
Yeah. But no, I enjoyed the extension. I like this kind of more. It was near electronic at times.
Yeah, like video game. Yeah.
Die Happy, which had great lyrics. I wonder what he wants to do.
Yeah, I kind of
love the opener.
The opener is great.
Yeah, Make Me an Offer I Cannot Refuse is beautiful. Atvian, which is or Atavin or whatever, is my favorite off the record, and it has the great lyrics of I shit my pants and wet the bed.
I didn't get that far, but okay.
That's the actual lyrics in there. It's caught up in the baby's breath. I shit my pants and wet the bed.
Fun.
Okay, Jeff Mangum.
Yeah, Sugar was good off there. Video game is great. I really like Tell Me You Love Me as well.
I did hear America, and America is very interesting as well.
America works really well as a closer
Yeah,
for an album that's this long. And there are certain artists who can put out albums this long that can be great. And Stefan Stevens can either puts out a 30-minute album that you just don't care about, or a 1 hour album that you don't care about, and then sometimes he puts out an album that's really good.
I mean, Age of Ads this is longer than even Age of Ads. And Age of Ads has a 25-minute song.
Mm.
So it says something for Ascension to be this good and this long, I guess. I have not listened to it, but not all of it at least. But I do hope we don't have to wait 5 more years for like another major Sufjan Stevens album. Like he's done so much.
Probably will.
He's done so much between Carrie and Lowell and now that it's hard to like remember that, but it has been 5 years. And he's too good for that.
Another one I want to.
What?
Haven't listened to much of
this one.
Sufjan.
Listened to Sufjan.
We'll hopefully get some more.
Yeah.
Another one I want to shout out to as well was one that was actually put out on a self-promotion channel on the Oz Music Discord, was the Mausaturi record, which came out in December last year, so it counts. It did have a couple moments on there, like I showed YouTube with Cadaver, that really do feel like it was just kind of ripped from another album. But there's also so much that they did on this record that it kind of makes up for it. There are some high peaks in there, especially for what seems to be like this is a pretty underground band. It doesn't seem to be like they had much in the way of financing for this record. It seems quite lo-fi at times, even if it's a bit unintentional. It's just the best that they could work with.
Yeah.
But they
Sometimes
definitely
that's what
tried
you
a
gotta
lot
do.
with this. I reckon it actually ended up working a lot of the time. It's worked more than a lot of other albums that I've seen this year.
And maybe if they have the money, they'll re-record some of it. Or maybe they won't.
I like it how it is, to be honest. And I mean, it's weird to see a band that probably has not that amount of financing and put out a record that's an hour and 10 minutes long.
Mhm.
But it seems like they did take their time with this as well, because the singles on here date back to 2018.
Okay, so like Disco 4, the singles go back a couple years.
And yeah, I rarely get an album that I enjoy this much that you just find out of someone advertising in a self-promotion channel.
Yeah, I mean, we really should need to dive more into like the local and like smaller stuff. I feel like there's a lot of potential there.
I don't. There's nothing local around me, so.
You keep saying that, but I'm sure there is.
I've legitimately looked. There's nothing.
Just go to your Denny's at 2 a.m.
What's up? What's up?
What's up?
The fuck is up,
Denny's?
I mean,
that
like,
is the greatest moment in music history, and no one can convince anyone
No,
otherwise.
that is the peak of music. It's all downhill from here.
I mean, like, just by doing local music on a chance, we discovered Weekend Run Club, so anything's possible.
The best part about that 2 a.m. at Denny's video is that the actual live performances of the shows, the band themselves actually uploaded the full thing onto their YouTube.
Yeah.
So you can see the whole fucking thing. I think.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
but the peak is what the fuck is up, Denny's.
Apparently the story was just like the Denny's was closing down as well. So it's like the last thing that ever happened at that Denny's.
Oh man, I want to play an empty Denny's now.
I'll tell you a secret. A closed Denny's is not that much different from an open Denny's.
You're right.
We don't have Denny's here, and that's probably why.
Probably for the best.
Imagine a shitty 24-hour diner.
Yeah, we don't really have diners here, so that'll probably be why.
Yeah, I mean, diners are like one of those American inventions.
Yeah, it's very Americana.
We're very pub here.
Yeah. Diners are cool. Like I like the aesthetic. It's just of
Yeah.
that of a very specific thing.
Just wait till you realize how pubs have evolved in Australia from being the where miners and workers would go to get cheap food, to where miners and workers would go to get cheap food, cheap beer, and gamble all their winnings. And I'll
Um,
tell you what,
Yeah.
the pubs have really taken to the profits. Mwah.
Good for them.
Get some good hospitality there, and watch the game for free on a big screen TV. So some of them actually like you go to some pubs and clubs in Australia and like hotels where all these stuff happen, and they're fucking huge.
Yeah.
They're like hotels, like 5-star hotels that you would think of in America. It would just be like some local pubs in Sydney.
Okay. I could dig that.
Yeah.
Like there's one of my favorites is I think it's Wentworthville, where not only is there a dining room where it has like the chicken schnitzels and the chips and stuff like that, but then there's all these other restaurants inside as well. There's Chinese restaurant that they have in there. There's a pizza restaurant that they have in there.
So it's like a food
There's,
court,
like,
but also a
7
pub.
Yeah, they have their own food court in the fucking pub.
All right.
That's great.
Yeah. So
That's how much they get. That's how much they get from gambling.
yeah, pubs are a different thing than they are in America.
Yeah, pub is where you go to get a cheap beer and maybe a good burger.
And it
I mean, we
might.
still have pubs like that here. Like that's a lot of our pubs. We also just have some that got very successful.
It sounds like an easier business to get into elsewhere. Like there than here if you're gonna have the gambling thing, because we only have like gambling allowed in like a couple cities, like on the water.
No, we have legalized gambling nationwide.
Sounds nice.
It kind of is, but like when you realize exactly how fucked a lot of the gambling organizations are.
Yeah, I mean, people need self-control. That's just the thing.
Yeah, we kind of try to make sure that our laws, like they say that self-control is a thing, but like not actually allow people who work at pubs to help them. So
Yeah. Well, it's like, retailers trying to get people to wear their masks. It's just gonna get them yelled at and fucking assaulted.
anyway, let's go into some other stuff that we haven't done this year just quickly before we do some wrap-ups.
I don't have anything else, unfortunately.
One other album.
Yeah, let Trix do it first then.
You go first while I try and. Oh yeah, no, it's right on my phone. You and Your Friends by Peach Pit. So it's actually.
Oh, I do have more.
Something
Never mind.
else came up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. You messaged us saying like, "Hey, here's a hint, mustache."
Yeah. Well, because I mean, like the main photo of the lead guitarist just has a bitchin' mustache. Like I posted a photo right now. But like, that's
that's
kinda
great.
what the band is known for.
That's like Donnie Benet.
Donny Benet's sexier.
Yeah.
Hi,
The
Ash.
receding hairline really makes it.
Oh yeah, Ash is here as well, as you could hear by the coughing. They asked first, Ash. She's dying. It's all good.
Oh no.
I'm kind of glad you didn't do Peach Pit. I don't hate the album. I think Shampoo Bottles is a very high peak for an otherwise album.
Yeah, Peach Pit is one of those bands where like every album has like 5 good songs, if that.
And currently, actually, just to do minor spoilers when I can, it does look like Shampoo Bottles will make my 100.
Wow.
But only barely so far, so who knows if that will stay in.
Let me get through my other ones I wanted to talk about, but I don't want to like focus on them. Just they were ones I had in mind like all year. Of Montreal, You Are Fun. I know we kind of talked about not doing it,
Very,
but
very glad you didn't.
Yeah,
it's
I heard
not
one
on my mind.
song on that and it just was not good.
Purity Ring, whatever that album's called, I can't remember right now.
Room.
Yeah, Womb. It's Not my favorite, but
Not the best Purity Ring, but it's
I kind of wanted to touch
some
on it
Purity
anyway.
Ring songs on there. Stadia is an absolute
Yes.
absolute treasure of a song.
And then the Algiers album. That's the one that was like the one I kept trying to get to that I kept having to do something else instead.
I liked it, but it's just not as good as the other two.
Yeah, those are the other three I was constantly trying to find a way to put in there. We did Father of All, which I'm proud of, but you know.
I'll get into the other ones that I didn't get into when I go into my top 20 albums.
Yeah.
Because I'll give them a quick summary, and I've got a couple. What do we want to do? What do we want to rank first? Shall we go with the worst albums that we've had to cover this year?
Yeah, I think we're probably gonna be in most agreement.
I haven't got a ranking for any of these, by the way. So
I'm including EPs in this one.
Yeah.
I think we have an easily a number one bad album.
Yeah, that's fucking love.
Yeah.
I
no spoilers when we've been saying it all year.
I would still put the James Cherry DJ EP below Lauv.
I'll put that actually above Lauv because I understand that it's not for us, but for people who are into the genre, it might actually be good.
It's for DJing.
Okay.
Sure if you played that at a club, it'd be fun.
All right, I'll bend to you two and just put it above Lauv. But listening to it by itself was interminable. Like I still think Lauv had some peaks that I liked that were okay.
I reckon the best way for us to do this, I know we all like to do our personal bottom fives and stuff like that, but I reckon we can create here a Dissonant Waves bottom five.
I think so.
We can be free judges and do a complete bottom five here. So let's nominate some absolute shit. First off, obviously we have Love's
yes.
How I'm Feeling. That's probably gonna win this list. No fucking argument. Without a doubt as well.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon we can say that fuck, I had it in my goddamn mind. And Green Day's Father of All Motherfuckers can be considered for this list.
Yes.
Just because the context of that makes it bad enough. I have no problems with the James Cherry EP as well being in this list, but I wouldn't put it as number one.
Me either.
I will also nominate Huey Lewis in the News' Weather.
Yeah.
You'd think I would be the one to go completely to nominate this, and I'm not against it. It's just that I kind of just understand that it's who it's being sold for, and obviously the context that it couldn't be a finished album.
Obviously, yeah, there's circumstances.
In saying that, I think it's fine to nominate that. We should probably write this down in the rankings.
I am writing it down on my own. Yes.
All right, beautiful. We got that. We got that sorted. What else did we hate this year?
Well,
we didn't hate this, but if you can remember a single song from this, Dominic, I'll say that we don't put it in here. Cave Boy.
Oh, I wish I could remember.
Put it on there.
I forgot we did Cave Boy.
What is it? Is it something in the park, Kiss in the dark?
Night in the park, Kiss in the dark.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it though.
Can you remember? Can you remember a single fucking thing?
No, but I remember. But if we're gonna go that route, I'm still throwing in Thin Mind. Whatever the fuck you say about that one fucking song.
Julia, Take Your Man Home's not the only song I can remember. However, I'm happy with you putting this on this list. We are only doing a bottom five anyway, so whether or not it makes it can be different.
Yeah, Wolf Parade. I think so. Like Wolf Parade is no longer my least favorite. I have given up on that train, but it is still down there.
I personally think Jelly on the Mum Club is shit.
Disagree.
All
right, if this one gets vetoed by you two, it's getting vetoed.
I like Jelly of the Mum Club. There's some good songs. Yeah, there's Timmy Turtlehead. There's also really good songs like Dolphins and Porpoises.
And there's a lot of fucking farts, and they're bad, but there were also some fun songs.
And that wasn't a 2020 album. Aren't we only doing 2020 albums right now?
No, we're doing
This is bottom five of all the stuff we covered. Yeah.
Okay, I'll throw a couple out there then. Isaac Hayes, Black Moses.
I disagree.
Yeah, I disagree too. I didn't like it as much as
I thought you guys didn't like that one. It's a good album, but
I rated December Underground below that.
Wow. I didn't realize I grew on you that much. You guys kind of didn't like it when we did the thing. You thought it was too long.
I don't think
it was.
I don't think it's in bottom 5 though.
Yeah, it's too long, but it still has stuff I kind of liked. I will nominate "Honeymoon" by Beach Bunny.
I veto.
Yeah.
But one veto, one yes.
Fuck. So,
I have like a
wanna-
personal reason for that.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
not liking that. So.
Here's my reasons for vetoing.
Mm.
One, "Promises" is currently in my top 20. I fucking love that song. "Cloud9" as well was in the top 200 as well, which probably has the nicest lyrics on this whole thing. I understand the criticisms with a lot of Beach Bunny's lyrics being a bit too one-sided, I guess,
Sure, you can say
and
that.
very pretentious. Like "Miss California" can still fuck off. I like the instrument to that one, but the lyrics are just cringe.
Yeah.
But I like songs like "Review" still.
I think of it.
"Racetrack" isn't too bad. "Cuffing
Racetrack's my
Season" I
favorite
like,
off the album.
and "Promises" is still an absolute tune. So that's why I veto it.
I mean, maybe I'll go back to it sometime, but I just remember the lyrics just got to me after a while.
And also, I've been listening to a lot of the new song because, like, I'm having like this love-hate relationship with it. Like, I'm fucking loving the background.
The
track.
instrumentation to it is
It's
great,
fucking
but yeah,
great
the lyrics.
instrumentals. But then the lyrics are just like, "I'm an abusive bitch."
Now, what other albums do we have to cover here?
So, so Bitch Bunny then. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Look,
Okay.
I can't really remember much from Cherry Pill, but I'm not gonna put that.
Cherry
in.
Peel is not bottom 5. You may not like it. It is not bottom 5.
Yeah, it's not bottom 5.
All right. Here's the question.
I'm just taking a look at all this.
I'm
looking at the list right now.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Do we put both BTS albums in there?
Let's put one of them.
The Journey.
It's just the one that you made me listen to.
The Journey.
Yeah, put The Journey on then.
Because that was the Japanese one where it was the same songs, but now they were in Japanese. And it did not have the flow of the other ones because it was just random different songs just kind of smashed together.
Put The Journey on there.
Here's a question for both of you. Do you guys remember one song off of Existential Playboy by Surf Rock is Dead?
Diabolic.
I don't remember Diabolic, but I remember liking Diabolic a lot.
I remember the riff to Diabolic.
All I remember is the album art.
Yeah.
I haven't asked it. Great.
I don't think it's worth bottom 5 though.
I don't have a strong either way in it.
Okay. This one's gonna make you upset, very specifically.
No, we're not. I'm vetoing Balance Soho.
Fuck you.
Liquids, Hot Licks Revenge.
Wait, hold on, wait. What Balance Soho?
Everything is okay.
Veto. That's in my top 10.
Tricks.
It's good. It's a good It's an actual good album. Like, it's not anywhere near all the other albums that have been good this year when it comes, or at least on YouTube's side. But it's good. You have songs in there that you actually like. If you go back to Sleep Here and say that you hate that, you're just wrong.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. I was looking at my 2020 list, not the actual full listing. I'm sorry.
If you want to say Violent Soho's self-titled,
yes, that's also down there.
It
is way lower than Everything Is A-Okay, looking at my actual list.
I personally veto the self-titled. However, I understand that, yeah, it's kind of not as good as all their other stuff, so I will remain partial.
I don't care enough to put it on there. It's not bottom 5 for me. What I will throw out though is Baloo's Quiet Dreamer.
Yeah, I was just about to say that one. As much as I can understand why it's bottom 5.
I'm impartial to it because I just can't remember enough to hate it. I also want to say that none of us have mentioned Willie Nelson, and I don't think any of us are going to.
I thought about it, but no. That is specifically
like one song. I'm the only Hell My Mama Ever Raised. It's like the only song I come back to on this album, and it's a banger.
Willie Nelson is the reason why I didn't want to do a bottom 10. It's because that would be my 10th one, and it does not deserve that.
James Cherry, British singer.
Which
Should we put all
which EP?
James Cherry?
You want to put all James Cherry?
Let's put everything except his lost EP.
We'll blame it on our youth.
Lost EP.
Yeah, it was okay. It was hell to try to recreate it, but like that was where his best stuff was, and I'm sad that he decided that he's gonna be fucking generic Brit pop guy instead. Or no, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
generic aggressive soul pop Brit guy.
And as I said, I've taken more shit's more aggressive than that. It was just like one of my best off the cuff lines, I think.
All right, here's a question. I think I'm gonna get vetoed on this. Seismic.
Crystal Castles.
Seismic.
Yeah, veto.
Yeah, I like that. I went back and listened to it earlier this week, actually.
I veto Crystal Castles too. It is not bottom 5.
Tricks, do you veto Crystal Castles too?
I didn't really like Crystal Castles too, so I won't veto.
So you won't veto, or you will veto?
No.
Oh, you won't veto.
There's no veto.
Nope,
All right.
veto.
No veto.
All right, it's 2-1. I'll put it on there.
If Beach Bunny was a 2-1.
Yes. So I'm being fair.
Yeah.
Okay, Luca Brasi.
I personally veto just because I love that album. Just my reason for liking it also comes from the time that it came out and where I was at mentally. So I have a personal veto on that, but I also still love a lot of the songs' instrumentation. Anything near Conviction, still a fantastic funky punk song. So I veto.
I don't remember.
You know what? Never mind. I don't hate it enough to put it down there. I just don't remember.
You vetoed your own pick.
I was thinking about it. I just don't remember enough of it to really. I just remember it being kind of generic Midwest punk or Midwest like emo punk or whatever.
It's Midwest emo punk by people who completely live outside of the Midwest by a couple thousand kilometers.
What I will is be fair also, and this is a real suggestion now. Yep. Orange Twinfield works. That worth being in bottom 5.
I really appreciate that from a standpoint.
I don't veto. I don't.
Okay.
Horse Jumper of Love?
Nah, I veto. I came back onto it and ended up actually kind of enjoying it a bit. So I don't think it deserves to be down there.
I wouldn't veto it.
I think
You
I've
wouldn't.
actually gone to my
I would
top
put
10 of what we've done.
Horse Jumper of Love was not something I really liked a lot of, so I would, that would be one I would vote for. I would not. I guess maybe I don't know. Orange Twin is a question for me. I would probably put Horse Jumper of Love before Orange Twinfield works.
Now I know this is gonna curse the other one to be done. Troy Sivan Bloom.
I didn't hate that one.
I mean, I veto it because I like it.
I'm happy for 2 vetoes because mine's not a strong choice here. This is just saying out of all the other stuff that we have.
I mean,
it wouldn't make bottom 5 anyway.
No. I mean,
I'm starting to think that we might be a bit done here and a bit ready.
I think so.
To collaborate, unless Ritalin for Kids, the start of something new, and Ritalin for Kids.
No. Veto.
What about mediocre and lo-fi acoustic?
Veto.
Yeah, no, I'm not vetoing it.
Jerry's Soul Stories.
Veto.
No veto. I must win. Veto, Jerry. Sorry, Tricks. You're not being vetoed.
That's fine. My EP sucked.
What is it? Terrible and lo-fi acoustic EP?
Something like that.
Terrible and mediocre.
I literally recorded in 2 hours.
Look, Camp Cope did it as well, and I'm just saying I wasn't big on that album either.
All right, this is a question more for you two than for me because I like this album better than you two did. Cape God by Ali X.
I like that album. I remember liking.
Okay.
Don't have a strong enough opinion on it. I wouldn't veto it.
Okay.
I'm just saying that, but I wouldn't vote it in.
Okay.
So
I think we're
if you
good.
two are gonna veto it, then I will just go. You can mess with it.
Okay, I think we're good then. I think that's everything.
All right, so let's write down the nominees that we have for our bottom 5.
All right, let me count them up real quick. Oh, we have 14.
14. So nine projects here get to get to stay away from the dreaded bottom 5. And tell you what, I'll probably post this list as well in my list week because this is going to be great.
Trix, if you want to read them out, I hope we wrote down the same ones.
I did not write anything down.
Okay, cool. I'll start based on what I wrote first. Number 1 is Loud Is How I'm Feeling. We got then James Cherry DJ's Purity Will Prevail EP. Green Day's Father of All Motherfuckers. Wolf Parade's Thin Mind. Huey Lewis and the News' Weather. Cave Boys' Night in the Park, Kiss in the Dark. Honeymoon by Beach Bunny. Map of the Soul 7, The Journey by BTS. Baloo's Quiet Dreamer. James Cherry's The Singer's Stripped EP. Crystal Castles 2 by Crystal Castles. Horse Jumper of Love by Horse Jumper of Love. Jeff Mangum's Orange Twin Fieldworks Volume 1. And Trix's Terrible and Mediocre Lo-Fi Acoustic EP.
So I just want to I can't think of a word and say recommendation on how we do this. I reckon because we've firstly got 14, and we want our top 5 to reflect all of our opinions.
Yes.
Each one of us gets we'll call it a super veto. We say, okay, this song's out, it's free, it's safe.
This album's out, you mean?
Yeah, this album's out of the list, but we only get one each.
Okay, so I think how we should do that, we should all just select one we want out right now, period.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Okay.
And then we go into the 11 and post the list into the rankings as well after the 11 is sorted.
Okay. My super veto is going to go to Crystal Castles too.
All right. Trix, you want to do yours?
Yeah, Baloo's Quiet Dream.
All right.
Find that?
Well,
Okay.
I have 2 options here. Do I save Trix, or do I save an album that Trix put into this? And...
Where do you save Jeff Mangum?
No, he's already at the top of every other fucking list.
All right.
And
you don't have to save me. I'll say that.
Yeah,
I'll be honored if I get into the bottom 5.
I was actually about to say it's in my top 20, so I'm putting my super veto on Beach Bunny.
Alrighty.
Like the song promises, like the album isn't in my top albums of the year. I actually considered it in top 30, but I don't fully rank that. So.
All right, I'm going to
my
put this.
super veto's on Beach Bunny.
Let me put this in the rankings chat. There we go.
Right, beautiful. So, I reckon we can do a quick 10 to 1 here, each one of us.
Okay.
Don't have to give a reason why for that because we got other stuff to cover in this episode as well. If you give it 10, it's got 1 point. If you give it 1, it's got 10 points. Whichever ones had the most points end up being the bottom 5. Do we agree on these terms?
So 10 is least amount of points, 1 is most amount of points.
Yep, and then
Okay.
the one that you don't even announce just gets away with 0 points. So.
All right, we've tallied the votes. We've cut ahead. So let's talk about what our votes were.
Do you want me to announce them just because I got all the numbers here?
Yeah, start with lowest to highest.
Yeah, lowest to highest. So, so for all 11 or
all of them,
or just all of them. Okay, well we actually have a couple ties here. It's all for next, but actually number 11 is Jeff Mangum at 5 points. So that one's very safe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 10 is a tie between Horse Jumper and Cave Boy. So that's 10 and 9th position for both of those. And then 8th and 7 is a tie between Wolf Parade and Trix's EP, which I feel like we've pissed off Wolf Parade fans. And then number 6, which has just avoided this with 15.
Wow.
And when I say
wait, no, 14. James Cherry Singer is 14.
Yeah, no, I counted it as 15, but it doesn't matter because it still doesn't influence the next ones.
Wait, James Cherry DJ was 15.
No, James Cherry Singer at 15.
Okay.
Is number 6. Number 5 is the James Cherry DJ at 17.
All right.
Number 4 is Huey Lewis at 18. Number 3 is BTS at 19. So those three were so close with each other that only one position from us would have changed the whole thing. And then at number 2, the biggest gap out of any of this. Well, yeah, it's the biggest gap out of any of it because the next one is by 7 is between BTS and Green Day. Green Day at number 2 for 27, and then number 1 is Love. So our bottom 5 is the James Cherry DJ Purity Will Prevail EP. Number 4 is Huey Lewis and the News Weather. Number 3 is BTS The Journey. Number 2 is Green Day Father of All Motherfuckers. And our worst album / EP / project of the year is Love's How I'm Feeling. Congratulations, you did it. You did it.
You really told us how you were feeling, and we hated it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to Andrew, my collaborator on the Jerry's Tall Stories EP, who loved WoW apparently and listened to him all year. But terrible. We decided. Terrible.
Yeah. My least favorite album of the year, going outside of this as well, just going with 2020, is not going to change. It's going with the same level as LSD here. It was just bad.
I think LSD is better.
LSD is better because it at least tried something. It was a terrible experimental album, but it at least tried.
Yeah, also shorter. Okay.
I think it's quite incredible just how our votes could have changed 5-3, and then we were just so unanimous on our bottom 2 albums, like we have been this whole year.
Well, I kind of came around a bit, but yeah.
When you come around?
Dream Girl don't exist.
I don't know if we want to even do a top 5. How long that took? Do we want to do a top 5 albums that we've covered this year?
I think we should.
We should.
Let's do let's just quickly say a top 10 or top 5 albums we just albums we covered. Let's not do any tricks with it or anything.
Yeah. Well, I think I'll just put out some highlights. Is obviously Middle East, Stefan Stevens, Microphones, Mount Erie are all up there. I really like Slipped as well. Weekend Run Club is also up there.
Yeah.
Petite League, Rips One of the Night is going to be my number 1.
You were talking about just things we covered all year, right?
Yeah.
So top 5, right?
I couldn't do a top 5 off the top of my head again after that intense deliberation.
Okay, so what are we doing here?
We're just
albums we enjoyed.
All right.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar, Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah.
Dark Side of the Moon.
Silverchair, Frank Stump.
Microphones in 2020.
Courtney Barnett. Sometimes I sit and think. Sometimes I just sit.
Yeah, I slept on that album.
I don't care.
Talking again. Weekend Run.
Protean Threat.
System of a Down. Toxicity.
You're gonna say Weekend Run Club again. Sue was great.
Pigs X7 Viscerals.
I grew onto Wunderbar.
Dark Side of the Moon with Pink Floyd.
Again.
Oliver Tree.
Yeah, Oliver Tree is fantastic.
Yeah, I was listening to it all week.
Archandroid by Janelle Monáe.
British India Thieves. Let's go right back.
Until the Quiet Comes by Flying Lotus.
Hockey Dad Blend In. Hockey Dad Brain Candy.
Against Me, Transgender Dysphoria Blues.
Jeff Mangum live at Jittery Joe's.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Music is awesome, except for that bottom 5 we just did.
Mal Blum, You Look a Lot Like Me.
Adolescence by the Adolescents.
Wolf Parade, Thin Mind.
Fuck yeah. Algiers by Algiers.
I can't think anymore on the top of my head. Let me go back to my
Tycho
scripted list,
Simulcast.
please.
Trans Am.
Weather.
Trans Am by The Network.
Oh yeah, Trans Am.
Also Money Money 2020 Part 2.
Yeah, Money
we told
Money
you so.
2020 Part 2 and Part 1.
And Part 1. And Foxborough Hot Tubs, also Dune Rats.
Yeah, and Foxborough Hot Tubs. Seismic Portions.
Yep.
Two
Flood
Doors
facilities.
Two Door Cinema Club, 4 Words to Stand on EP.
Mole Rat.
Beach Goons.
Smith Street Band.
Hood Rats Go
Stacey Jane.
Bags.
Block Party.
No, we're just saying names.
Ween.
Yeah, Ween.
Polygon
One
Wonderland.
thing one side note about Ween. One thing I really should have mentioned during the episode we did. It is a piece of asexual history because it invented SpongeBob, quite possibly the most famous asexual TV character.
I think I mentioned about it during the thing.
All right.
I didn't. We didn't connect asexuality, but
none of the asexuality. Yeah.
I'm just gonna go my top 10 of this whole year, right here, right now.
Fuck it.
Everything we did. Number 10, A Crow Looked at Me by Mount Erie. Number 9,
Yep.
Toxicity, System of a Down.
Yep.
Number 8, Weekend Run Club Zoo.
Yep.
Number 7, Janelle Monáe, The Arcandroid. Number 6, Middle East, I Want You Always Happy.
Should have been high.
Number 5, Sufjan Stevens, Illinois. Number 4, Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd. Number 3, The Glow Part 2 by the Microphones. Number 2, Microphones in 2020 by the Microphones. Number 1, Kendrick Lamar, To Pimp a Butterfly.
Now, like I mentioned a bit earlier in this episode, am going to go through my whole top 20 of just 2020 albums, even the stuff that I haven't mentioned, because I wanted to mention a couple of these albums as well.
Sure.
So obviously at number 20, I had that Mouse Saturi album that I mentioned earlier. I think if you're in the mood for microphones and you've listened to the whole Microphones discography, go listen to this album. Number 19, I have Billy Cobb's Zerwe Part 2. If you're in the mood for Pinkerton again, I recommend listening to this album because that's what this album is inspired on. And tell you what, it's the best Weezer album in the past 10 years. Well, White Album is still better. Number 18 is Fontaine's DC's A Hero's Death. Never mind the 4 out of 10 that Anthony Fantano gave it. This album's actually good. The Strokes, The New Abnormal. Do mind the 8 out of 10 that Fantano gave us, because yes, this album is good. Fuck, what number am I up to? Number 16, Tame Impala, The Slow Rush. Yeah, it's Tame Impala. I'm a sad white boy. I love it. We mentioned it earlier in the year as well. Number 15 comes to the first album that was recommended on this podcast, was Sliff's Umon. Honestly, it could have just been there from that opening track alone. Holy fuck, is that good. Number 14, Irina Sawayama's Sawayama. Honestly, one of the best pop albums I've heard in a long time. I'm honestly surprised that she could go nu metal at points in this and mix it with pop, and I can enjoy it as much as I did.
Yeah.
Definitely recommendation. What fucking number am I up to now? Number 13, A Swayze and the Ghosts, Paid Salvation. We obviously mentioned that one earlier. I like it. It's a good pub rock record.
Pretty good.
Number 12, Yumi Zuma's Truth or Consequences. New Zealand dream pop. Absolutely lovely album. It's beautiful to hear the whole way through. Number 11, be careful because just by looking at him you might get pregnant. It's Donny Benet's Mr. Experience. Thanks Dominic.
Yeah.
Number 10, because I vetoed the shit out of this because I enjoy this quite a lot, is Fallon Soho's Everything is A-OK. Because everything is A-OK. Number 9, should have done it on the podcast. It's one of his best albums, and look, only so many people could say I shit my pants and actually end up being quite listenable, and Stefan Stevens is one of them. The Ascension is number 9. Number 8, one of the best electronic albums of this year, if not the best, I'd put it as the best, is Caribou's Suddenly, a great return for Mr. Dan Snaith. Absolutely love some of the production that he does on this album. Sunny's Time, which is my highlight off there, it's just beautiful. And then this other stuff like Never Come Back and New Jade, which have been high on my playlist. Number 7. I looked at the name and said them both at once. It's Spacey Jane's Sunlight. Again, another one that we covered. I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know how big on it you were, Dominic. I remember Trix enjoyed it a lot more
I
than
mean,
you
it was
did.
fine. I put it around Cave Boy level. I liked Cave Boy. Okay, Space Jam was fine.
Yeah, but you can probably remember a Spacey Jane song.
Booster Seat.
Yeah, Booster Seat is like, it's currently in my number 4 spot. Fuck, I love that song. Number 6, the Smith Street Band, Don't Waste Your Anger, which unfortunately seemed to have gone out from your top 10 of the year, but I mean, you ended up enjoying it a lot more than you thought.
I'll do my
Would.
top 20 list of the year after you. I think it's still there. Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah. Number 5, Weekend Run Club Zoo.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, yeah.
When, pass me the recording of that. Just for when I play my
Just
top
post it
100
in
because
chat.
I'm gonna play that before I play Weekend Run Club. Just, number 4. Unfortunately, we didn't end up covering it, but this is a fantastic, fantastic record.
Sorry, continue. Number 4.
I'm good. Music is cancelled. Now, at number 4, Mrs. Skeleton, Phoebe Bridges put out an absolutely incredible sophomore record with Punisher. Number 3, I put as Ballpark Music, self-titled. I guess you just have to really enjoy Ballpark Music to put it this high, especially since this album is like, yeah, all their previous stuff kind of done better, but hey, I liked it a lot. Number 2, Mr. Oliver Tree, the meme man, who I don't know how someone can be a living meme and put out
that
music.
fucking good around.
Yeah, really.
Ah, fuck. And number 1, just keep in mind that I don't also just put in quality of the records, but I also put in how much I listen to it, how much I come back to individual songs works as well, which is why Hockey Dad's Brain Candy is my number 1.
Let's be clear. I was very excited over Weekend Run Club. Number 1, they're local to me, so nice to see representation. Number 2, you said all year they would not make your top 10. You said that all year.
I didn't think it would, and then it did.
Number 5. Ah!
You want to do your top 20?
I can. Trix, do you want to do yours at all, or do you have a top 20? Or
I have kind of just like a nebulous kind of top 10, I guess.
you do yours first. I went before Berlin, so you do yours.
I have like just a couple albums I've been listening to that I quite enjoy. I'll have to throw Visceral's Pick Exec 7 up there. Tycho's Simulcast. Stevie Dinner's new album, which I forget the name of already, but it's a banger. I'll tell you right now. I'm pulling it up. I really should write more shit down, if I'm going to be honest. True Story by Stevie Dinner, it's called. Which I'm going to do one of these days. Weekend Run Club's definitely up there. Put that album on a lot.
Yeah.
Jam to it. And Oliver Tree definitely up there. And I guess that's all I can think of off the top of my head right now, because I really didn't write anything down, and I probably should have.
All right, that's fair.
Dominic, you want to do your top 20?
Yeah. So keep in mind, the new Foxy Shazam album isn't out. I have not listened to the Sufjan Stevens albums, and I want to. So this is an incomplete list, but it'll probably be something like this. Number 20.
Oh, and Money 2020 Part 2.
Yes. Number 20. Dune Rats, Hurry Up and Wait.
Boy, yeah! I can only go so loud, I got neighbors.
Number 19. BTS Map of the Soul 7. It just kind of has to be there by default, because I only have like 40 things on my list. Number 18. So Uman by Slift. 17.
I forgot to put that one on there too.
17. Brain Candy by Hockey Dad.
Yeah.
16. Ace Swayze and the Ghosts Paid Salvation. Number 15.
Repeat.
15, Cape God by Ali X. 14, the Georgia EP by Death Cab for Cutie, a covers EP that's very good.
I listened to that. Yeah, I listened to that yesterday. It's surprisingly good.
They cover the hell out of King of Carrot Flowers Part 1. Holy shit. Number 13, Smith Street Band, Don't Waste Your Anger.
Boy.
Number 12, Chromatica by Lady Gaga. Number 11, Chunky Shrapnel by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Before you do your 10, I just want to say, currently Alice by Lady Gaga is in my top 200.
Good. It's one of the songs that's really good on there. Number 10, Viscerals by Pigs X7. Number 9, this is a late thing, only because of what comes after it. Number 9 is the Trans Am EP by The Network. Number 8, Oliver Tree's Ugly is Beautiful. Number 7.
Should have been higher.
Number 7, No Fun Mondays by Billy Joe Armstrong, a covers album that is also surprisingly very, very good. Number 6, Mr. Experience by Donny Benet.
Yep, deserved. Sexual experience.
Number 5, Protean Threat by OCs.
Definitely.
Number 4, Disco 4 Part 1 by Health. Number 3, Money Money 2020 Part 2, We Told You So by The Network. Number 2, The Weekend Run Club's Zoo.
And number 1, everybody, get ready to say yeah boy 5,000 times.
And number 1, my top album of the year, The Microphones in 2020.
I walked into the boy and I said yeah. Well, guitars are strumming, I can't really do the fill out. I like the Microphones in 2020. I wouldn't put it as in my top 20, although it was in consideration.
It's a great stoner rock album.
I love the experience of it. I love the whole idea of it. If it wasn't for that, Weekend Run Club would be number 1 with a bullet. Like I think collectively, Weekend Run Club is like our top album of the year just by sheer numbers. If we're doing the voting thing again,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, if Mitchell was out listening, could you please give me a promo for my top 100, please? Thank you.
I can ask. I'll find out.
He can. Dominic can arrange that.
Dominic, please arrange that.
We'll
10-second video audio clip. If he wants to send me a video of himself, he can as well. Well, them is it referred to as him or them? Can't remember. I think it's them.
It's he they. So you can do
he
they.
They. Okay. Either way.
I try to say that, but yeah.
Anyway, that's the Weekend Run Club 2020 wrap up.
Sponsored by the Weekend Run Club.
Yeah.
Although not really sponsored. We're not, technically not officially affiliated, even though I do know Mitchell. And Mitchell's been very good to us.
Mitchell, could you please pay us? Advertising ain't easy.
I don't think they make much more money than we do. I hope they do.
What are you on about? I gave him $30 for the CD.
Yeah.
That's true.
Shipping.
I also paid
Most of that was shipping.
Yeah, so I think that is more money.
That's fair. I mean,
Just
look,
by me alone, I gave us all of our profits plus $30.
I mean, I bought the CD. I bought the digital album. No, I think I just downloaded it from the CD, maybe. But I also fucking listened to it on Spotify.
I got it on Bang.
I probably got both, honestly. I think I bought digital and then got the CD.
I haven't even opened the CD.
I remember Callum, you bought it just so that you could put a joke under Dominic Ain't Dead.
Yeah. Yeah, favorite track, All My Friends Are Dead. What about Dominic? Talking to him right now.
My favorite track in there is still Sometimes Until Let's Think Back. That two-parter is very good.
Look, when I did that album for the album of the week on it, like 90% of the people's favorite song was Let's Think Back. All the other people I've talked to say that, yeah, Let's Think Back. It's not even my favorite, which were the song of the year was Show, but yeah, it seems to be a heavy favorite for people who have actually listened to it. Which is weird because Always is the most streamed.
Yeah, I mean that's like the intro. That's like track 1, so usually that gets like a lot of attention.
Maybe people thought it was just going to be a casual folk album and left.
They missed out.
Yeah.
Well, with that, I have been Riddlin. You can catch me in my band, the Weekend Run Club. We play on Saturdays.
I've been Dominic. You can catch me in the Weekend Run Club. We play Sundays.
I've been Tricks. You can catch me with my band, the Weekend Run Club, and we play Fridays.
Weekend.
Well, Friday night's still the weekend, so.
For me, Friday night is my weekend. Friday night's my Saturday.
If it was Friday day, though, would that be controversial? And with that, this has been Dissonant Waves.
Yes. Catch us at
Stuff will be in the description.
DissonantWaves.space, Dissonant Waves on Twitter. Follow, like, subscribe, share on YouTube. You know the deal, the drill. Go listen to Weekend Run Club Zoo. Also, okay for you. Great AP.
Emergency. Extra bonus episode we're recording next week about Green Day.
We're doing another Green Day episode because Money 2020 Part 2 and No Fun Mondays are out. And we might as well cover them.
They're just that good.
Did you listen to No Fun Mondays?
No, I haven't, but you gave it high praise.
I did.
That we'd bid adieu.
Also, I didn't mention it. The contrast of Father of All Motherfuckers being our second least good album, and I put Money 22 at number 3 in my top albums of 2020. There's a lot happening there.
Yeah.
It's the same band, whether you believe it or not. Anyway, I'm Dominic. You can catch me on Twitter at DACICHOCKI. I write stuff for Tilting Windows Studios sometimes. TiltingWindowsStudios.com.
I've been Tricks. Catch me on Twitter at procrastinaut_. And I have a YouTube channel where I do bass stuff that's been going on hold because I'm in the middle of a move.
And I've been Riddlin. You can catch me on our website, Riddlin for Kids at GitHub.io. I just got made redundant, so I'm actually doing stuff now.
Well, hopefully you get
Please
hired
hire
soon.
me. Please hire me. If a recruiter is listening to this podcast, please hire me.
And has made it all the way to the end. And still thinks he's a good character.
Yeah, please hire me.
By the time this is posted, you'll probably be hired.
We'll play Weekend Run Club songs for you for work.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be it then, unless anyone has anything else to say.
Nah, I think we're all good here.
No, let's land this plan.
I wonder how much I'm gonna cut from this. Have a good night.
Probably a lot.
Have a
Good night.
good night, everybody.